Hi, I bought this bike, this Scottscale 980, 3.5 years ago, made about 6,000 kilometers with it. So I think it's time to do a long-term review. I already recorded and uploaded another review about 3 or 4 months after I bought it. And the conclusion was it is quite a nice bike for the price you pay for it. Now, in the meantime, it came out that one component of this bike actually didn't live up to my expectations. So that's why I'm doing this second long-term review. Let's try to find a nice place to do the review. These rocks are looking nice. Let's see. By the way, I am in Tihany, Hungary, near Lake Balaton. Let me first tell you a little bit about what kind of cyclist I am. So I am not specifically a mountain biker. I use different bikes, mainly this mountain bike, and also a trekking bike. I use the trekking bike to get around in the city and to commute to work. And when I'm in nature, when I'm on vacation, I really like to use the mountain bike. I also do it for fitness, but the main point is I like to use the bike as a means to get around. To get to places where you cannot get easily with a car or with public transportation, and which are too far away to just walk. And what I like about cycling is the simplicity. So you don't have to hustle with finding a parking lot. You don't have to deal with timing schedules and things like that. You don't have to fill your tank or charge your battery for the car. So cycling is really very simple and it's fun for me. So let's have a look at this bike, which I bought 3.5 years ago, the Scottscale 980. Why did I buy exactly this one? Well, there are different reasons. First of all, I wanted to get it from a local store. Didn't want to buy it online. I wanted to get a hardtail mountain bike, obviously. And what I also definitely wanted is this gear switching with only one chain wheel in the front. So you only need to use one lever for gear switching. And once again, this is for simplicity. I'm aware that these gear switching mechanisms have their advantages and their disadvantages, but I still say that for me the advantage, mainly the advantage of simplicity, counted. So these criteria already cut down my choices to 2 brands. One is obviously Scott, and the other brand was Cube, a German bike brand. Cube is a brand with which I have made quite good experience. My previous mountain bike was a Cube. I think I also did a review of it. But there is one thing that made me make the decision for Scott, and that is the maximum, what's it called? The maximum supported system weight or something like that. This bike has a maximum supported system weight of 130 kilograms, while most of the Cube mountain bikes at this time only had, I think, 115 or 118. And you can see that I'm a big guy, so to say. I weigh 95 kilograms, and in this system weight you also count the bike itself plus everything else. So let's do a little calculation. I myself weigh 95 kilograms, then the bike maybe, let's say 15 kilograms. Actually, it's a bit less. So we are at 110 kilograms. Then I have my clothing, shoes, and a backpack. So let's add another 5 kilograms. So we are at 115 kilograms. So that means for the cube bike, I would already be at the limit. And for this one with 130, I still have 15 kilograms left. And this is why I made the decision for the Scott. Unfortunately, this is exactly the point where the bike didn't live up to my expectation. So I think most parts of the bike are really sturdy and can carry that weight, especially the frame. But about 1.5 years after I bought it, I started getting trouble with the rear wheel. So in one summer vacation, a spoke broke. And yeah, I first thought, okay, this is just an accident. This can happen every once in a while. So I had it made. I didn't repair the spoke myself. I went to an expert bike workshop, and the guy replaced the spoke and centered the wheel once again, and it was fine. It was fine for about 2 months. 2 months later, the same thing happened. And at that point, I started getting suspicious. I thought, yeah, maybe I am just too heavy for that bike. Because I didn't have that issue with any other of my bikes. What did I do? Of course, I had the spoke repaired once again, the wheel centered, this time at another workshop. And then I started doing something that you actually do not want to do with a mountain bike. This is exactly the thing you don't want to do with a mountain bike. I started to ride carefully. Yeah, not stressing the bike too much and so on. So that of course was not fun, but I didn't know what else to do. At that point I didn't want to replace the whole wheel. Okay, and yeah, you can imagine a few months later, same thing happened again. Went once again to a different workshop. This time even 2 spokes have broken. And yeah, finally I decided, and that was a few months ago, I decided to have the wheel replaced. I didn't have any issues so far with the front wheel because, well, for one, there is not so much weight on it, and of course we got suspension. So I kept this. It is a Synchros rim, which is actually a well-known brand, but I guess they have been using quite a cheap type. And I have replaced it. I have to say that I don't even really know what this is. So here the hub is a WTB STI 25, and the hub is a Shimano hub. Anyway, since I replaced the wheel, I didn't have any issues. Also, I don't drive carefully, I don't ride carefully, and absolutely no issues. So that is great. The whole thing, the replacement, cost me 220 euros, where I think 180 is the material and the rest is the work, which is a fair price, I would say, for Germany. And yeah, the original price of the bike was 900 euros. List price actually was something like 1,150, but normally you get these bikes a lot cheaper when you buy them a few months after they come out. So all in all, yeah, including the replaced wheel, I have paid more than €1,000, but hey, that's the way it is. Now I am quite happy with that bike, and I hope it will last a few more years. What else can be said about this bike? So it's got Shimano Deore group, and of course standard hydraulic disc brakes by Shimano as well. Then yeah, the fork isn't great, I have to say, but that's not important for me. I mean, it even has this lockout lever, which, if you ask me, it's only a gimmick. I've already been contemplating just removing that thing. Then yeah, it has these ultra wide handlebars, which initially I didn't like that much. I still don't find them super great, but I just got used to them. So just standard components, but that's absolutely okay for me. Enough talking, let's continue the ride. By the way, this is not a bike review channel, not even a mountain bike channel or something like that. It is more like a travel channel, but since I use the bike to get around, I also do a bike review or some general cycling topics every once in a while. But I think my next video will be about traveling, or at least specific places once again. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.